The Dos Equis Game Day Show. We're out here at the Philly Sports Grill in Tempe. Priest, we've got a fan-crowded audience today. Everyone watching college football here at the Philly Sports Grill. No better place to watch college football than one of the 4 locations. But, Ben, let's get right into it. The biggest topic of all week in sports, UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka left an undefeated Rebels team Tuesday night over claims of unfulfilled verbal NIL promises of $100,000 from a UNLV assistant coach. This is a team in UNLV that was 3-0, college football playoff aspirations ahead of him, and he leaves after 3 games. I'm going to start with you. The whole situation right now. There's a bunch of situations and scenarios and things that we don't really know specifically about this event that happened. All we know that Sluka was promised something verbally, did not get it, and decided to leave. What's your take on this whole situation?
It's a lot of he said, she said. We're not exactly sure what's true. I'm only going to go off of what we've seen and try to piece together things. If Matthew Sluka was verbally... Now, this is his fault. If he was verbally told he was going to get $100,000, this should have been some sort of writing. He should have had more than just a verbal handshake, because in college football, this could have been a dumb coach that was just trying to save his job to get him there and just was like, we'll deal with it when we get there, and just deny everything. At this point, if they did say, hey man, $100,000 for you to come here, he's a transfer from Holy Cross, this is on UNLV. If you cannot afford to pay your players, don't promise them money that you can't give them. I understand that the old school way of thinking, which I used to be there until the rules changed, was for the love of the team and for the name on the front of your jersey. You're not playing for the name on the back of your jersey. Like, I get all that. That is an outdated way of thinking now. We are in which is why, I mean, this is a whole other issue. But this is why college football needs a commissioner. This is why they need a collective bargaining agreement, because this is just semi-pro sports now. We have decided that we are going to start paying players. You cannot do things halfway. And this is kind of a Mountain West issue, and this is kind of a NCAA issue. There needs to be a collective bargaining agreement, but at the end of the day, I don't show up to work, and that's what this is now. It's a job. If you got verbally committed $100,000, I don't show up to work for the love of the game. I like what I do, but at the end of the day, this guy's probably not an NFL quarterback. He's trying to make his cheddar before he's done with school. You got to pay the guy, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. If he was promised that much money and they didn't and they didn't commit to that and they didn't give it to him, this is on UNLV. And also, if on the inverse, there is a rumor out there that maybe he went to them and said, my price has gone up, the family hired an agent, that's not cool either. If they wanted more money, and that's why he decommitted, or that's why he's redshirting now and he's entering the transfer portal, that is a Matthew Sluka issue. That is a him issue, not a UNLV issue. But at the end of the day, if you promise someone to get paid in a world of NIL and you're not ready to adapt for that, you need to be able to do it. Also, this is Las Vegas. How could they not scrum together $100,000 out of nowhere for your chance to be in the college football playoff? Because there's going to be a wild card team that gets in, for lack of a better term. They were certainly on their way to doing that, especially in the Mountain West. You know how much money you would make just getting there? It would pay for itself. So it's a double-edged sword here. If this is something that Matthew Sluka wanted more money in, it's his fault. But if this is just a failure to pay funds, this is unequivocally a UNLV issue, and I would side with the player.
Yeah, my thing here is you came in July. You were promised something. I think a part of this, too, is on Sluka's part for the agent hiring. It's a part of the agent as well for not getting this situated. You had all of July, all of August. In my opinion, I mean, for people out there that don't know, I don't like bringing up my past, but I used to play at Montana, walked on wide receiver. So I've been around the locker room, and I've been around when people have quit during the season, after the season, during spring ball, winter ball, whatever. For me as a player, for the player perspective, I think it's selfish for Matt Sluka to do this 3 games into the season, where you could have stuck it out. Maybe you go 8-0, maybe you go 12-0. The money's going to come if success in winning keeps coming, in my opinion. you have everything in front of you with a college football playoff on the horizon, and most likely the Mountain West champion is going to get in the college football playoff because out of the group of 5 conferences, they're the most deep. But for me personally, and I don't want to refer to his stats because if you look at his stats and you see what he's doing, and if he did want to raise, it's comical. He's averaging 106 yards per game, passing off of 42%. But for me, like, this is just a selfish move on my part, and I actually disagree. I think this is just a terrible move on him. Whether you could say he say, she say all you want, nothing's written down in paper. I think that's if you're a guy that's been around the program or around college football for 5 to 6 years, you would think you would learn nowadays that everything's got to be written on paper. But I think it's selfish. I think for you to leave your brothers, leave a locker room, and for you to go get money and say, hey, I want to go transfer, there's no guarantee that he's going to get another opportunity like this anywhere else. There's only 20% of people that enter the transfer portal end up finding another home. Most people don't. And if I'm another college and I see this guy's 3 games into the season with not a lot of film, coming from a school like Holy Cross that UNLV gave you the opportunity, he's not playing for me. I mean, he's going to want – how do you not know if he goes to the next program and he agrees, maybe he gets less money, $50K, and they start doing well he's just like, okay, well, I want more, and starts bribing the coach or whatever. So for me, I have a hard time favoring a guy like Matt Sluka that's just bailing on his team, especially as a starting quarterback. And now you're seeing from other UNLV players that they actually are favored of the move because there's other reports saying that Matt Sluka kind of distanced himself from the team, wasn't really the leader, and maybe was – the starting quarterback because he was promised the most money, or came from the Holy Cross school versus another candidate that's going to transfer in, or that transferred in from Campbell. That's going to be the starting quarterback that they're favoring more. I don't know, but for me, Ben, I don't know if it's the former player side of me. I just think long-term he's going to look like a coward to his teammates now, and now these teammates have more motivation in a game today against Fresno State to go out there and win. I hate it for the players. I hate it for the coaches. But if he was agreed something, it is a UNLV problem. Overall umbrella on this whole thing, and I'll throw it back to you, it's the NCAA's fault that we're in this situation.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. The fact that we are going, if you are going to do something, go all the way in or stay out of it. Do not go halfway. This NCAA thing, whatever it is, they need a collective bargaining agreement. This is pro sports. It's just semi-pro, whatever. It's just the minor leagues that we all care about because of the brands of Alabama, of Ohio State, and because they actually have good players, and you can't stick 18-year-olds running across the middle for Luke Kuechly to find them and headhunt them.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's for. It's just the development league right now for the NFL. At this point, you need a collective bargaining agreement so these types of things don't happen. You need contracts, which is why I'm treating it as such. Now, Matthew Sluka is an idiot for not getting this in writing, not making sure everyone's on the same page. Like, this is as much a him issue as it is UNLV issue. But I think of it like this, because I look at college sports now as just pro sports. If Kyler Murray was promised $46.5 million a year, and the Cardinals only paid him $24 million a year, I would say the same thing. I'd be like, yeah, if I'm Kyler, I want to get my money. So that's how I'm treating it. And he's not getting his money. Now, you're right. I don't think he's going to find anything better, but at this point, he's trying to maximize his opportunity because he knows he's not an NFL guy. So he's trying to make as much money as he can before he leaves college. I'm not going to degrade anyone for that. It's not like this UNLV team is even going to win one game in the college football playoff. It's more so about the experience. And if I'm in his shoes, why would I want to make you money and you profiting off my back when I was verbalized something and I didn't get it? So I'm ultimately on the side of him, although I think it's a mess everywhere.
Yeah, and for the NCAA, we go back to the NCAA as one of the most corrupt, dumb organizations in all of sports to go out and release NIL and just say, hey, NIL, here you go, you guys can get paid, and then now they have to come back and retrack everything and try to come up with rules and stuff, and there's even different situations. We've never seen this happen either. So what other NIL situations down the line until there's rules set, until there's a commissioner? Your point, I think, is a great point. They need a commissioner. Like, the NCAA is at fault for all this. I want to read UNLV's statement on this because their statement basically says that Matt Sluka was a pay-for-play situation. They said, quote, football player Matt Sluka's representative made financial demands upon the university and its NIL collective in order to continue playing. UNLV Athletics interpreted these demands as a violation of the NCAA pay-for-play rules as well as the Nevada state law. UNLV does not engage in such activity, nor does it respond to implied threats. UNLV has honored all previously agreed upon scholarships for Matthew Sluka. So they've conducted this as a pay-for-play situation. You wonder if Matthew Sluka is lying. Like you said, he or she type of thing. He said, she said thing. It's unfortunate in sports. And then for the USC player, Bear Alexander, to request the red shirt, that doesn't bother me. This is a guy that committed to 3 different schools in high school, that committed to Georgia, and then he transferred to USC, gets everything in front of him, and now he's not playing. He's not starting because he's not playing well, so he wants to keep his red shirt. Like, that whole situation is completely different. I hate this for college football because, as you know, I'm a big college football fan, big college football junkie. It puts a bad light on the sport, but I'm hoping eventually that because of this, the NCAA can learn and put something in paper for preventing this from happening moving forward.
Yeah, let me just draw a full circle moment to this. Kind of a funny moment in it all. Do you know the head coach that Matthew Sluka just recently followed on Twitter when this all went down?
Who?
Kenny Dillingham.
Really?
Kenny Dillingham. People were, I don't know if you noticed, but the very first reply under that statement on Twitter was someone connecting the dots as well, saying ASU poached him. Now, this is all he said, she said. I'm just talking nonsense. But it would be kind of funny.
That would be funny.
That would be kind of funny. Go get him, Kenny.
You know what?
Go get him.
We'll break Sluka on as a backup or something like that.